It's becoming increasingly clear that stimulating and supporting your endocannabinoid system is another way to improve your brain and your mental health. You don't need to smoke cannabis to do this. There's a number of other options that can be used. Your body actually creates its own cannabinoids, similar to those found in cannabis. And these naturally occurring cannabinoids bind to the cannabinoid receptor within the body and the brain. You can think of these receptors like little locks, and your body's cannabinoids fit naturally into these locks like keys. Together, they make up the endocannabinoid system, and this can influence your appetite, pain, inflammation, sleep, stress response, mood, memory, motivation, and reward. There's two main types of cannabinoid receptors, the cannabinoid receptor type 1, or CB1, and the cannabinoid receptor type 2, CB2. The CB1 receptors are mostly found in the brain, and they impact a number of neurotransmitters, including GABA, glutamate, dopamine, and serotonin. The CB2 receptors, on the other hand, are mostly found within the immune system and the blood cells. However, it's important to note some of the CB1 receptors are still located outside the brain, and some CB2 receptors can be found inside the brain, so there's some overlap. According to Martin Lee, the author of Smoke Signals, A Social History of Marijuana, cannabinoid receptors are more abundant in the brain than any other type of neurotransmitter receptor. There's two different types of cannabinoids that can activate these receptors. The phytocannabinoids, which are plant-derived cannabinoids such as THC and CBD found in cannabis, and the endocannabinoids. These cannabinoids are produced naturally within the body. Anandamide is the main endocannabinoid in the body. It can be found in humans, but there's many other animals and plants that have it also. It binds to both the CB1 and CB2 receptors, and it has similar effects to THC. Modulating the activity of the endocannabinoid system has turned out to hold therapeutic promise for a wide range of diseases and pathological conditions, ranging from mood and anxiety disorders, movement disorders like Parkinson's and Huntington's disease, neuropathic pain, multiple sclerosis, spinal cord injury, to cancer, atherosclerosis, myocardial infarction, stroke, hypertension, glaucoma, obesity and metabolic syndrome, and osteoporosis. There's an increasing amount of research linking a number of illnesses and symptoms to low endocannabinoid levels, including major depression, generalized anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and multiple sclerosis, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, sleep disorders, fibromyalgia, and Parkinson's disease. Some researchers are convinced when your body doesn't produce enough endocannabinoids, you're more likely to develop these diseases. They've even coined the term clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. If you've any of the above conditions, don't worry. You can stimulate and support your endocannabinoid system naturally, and this can lead to a number of brain and mental health benefits, such as less stress and anxiety, improved mood and increased feelings of pleasure and optimism, better focus and concentration, less hyperactivity and impulsivity, higher brain-derived neurotropic factor levels, increased rates of neurogenesis, increased myelin formation, deeper sleep, and lower cortisol levels, fewer headaches and migraines, reduced activity in the amygdala or the fear center of the brain, and reduced inflammation. Cold exposure has been shown to increase the endocannabinoid levels. Researchers have also found the cold exposure significantly increases the density of the CB1 neurons. To support the endocannabinoid system, take a cold shower every day and go outside with minimal clothing in the winter. Try to finish your next shower with at least 30 seconds of cold water and see how you feel, and then work your way up to longer periods of time. It can be painful to do at first, but the lingering effects are worth it. You can also ease yourself into it by simply sticking your face into cold water. Cold exposure also stimulates the vagus nerve. Male and female sex hormones also stimulate and support the endocannabinoid system. Both testosterone and estradiol have been shown to upregulate the CB1 receptors. Estradiol also increases the synthesis and the release of the endocannabinoid anandamide, and this activates the CB1 receptor. And the plasma levels of anandamide correlate nicely with the levels of estrogen during the menstrual cycle in women. Both men and women should get their hormones checked regularly. You can get your testosterone levels and your estradiol levels checked, and if you have low testosterone, natural supplements and testosterone replacement therapy can help to improve your brain and mental health. Drinking coffee is another way to stimulate and support the endocannabinoid system. Researchers believe the cannabinoid system is involved in the psychoactive properties of the caffeine. Regular caffeine consumption has been shown to enhance the activation of the CB1 receptors by the endocannabinoids. CB1 receptors are downregulated after social defeat stress, but caffeine counteracts this effect. The coffee and the caffeine can disrupt sleep, so make sure you don't drink it late in the day. Traditionally, the coffee bean is extracted from the coffee fruit for roasting, and the surrounding fruit is then discarded. But this is a problem because the coffee fruit contains several healthy compounds that are not found in the beans. After years of careful clinical research, scientists have discovered ingesting the whole coffee fruit can significantly increase brain function. If the caffeine makes you jittery, the amino acid L-theanine that's extracted from green tea can reduce the side effects, withdrawal symptoms, and also enhance the benefits. Olive oil has numerous health benefits, particularly because of its strong anti-inflammatory effects. It's also been shown to upregulate the CB1 receptors. Be careful though, a lot of the cheap olive oil has been adulterated. Cannabidiol, or CBD, is one of the active cannabinoids in the cannabis. It's not psychoactive, but it still has a wide range of medicinal properties. Research shows CBD enhances the expression of the CB1 receptor within the brain. It also increases the levels of 2-AG by preventing it from breaking down. It can reduce stress, but it can make some people feel sleepy. This could help with sleep if taken before bed. Most CBD oils are massively overpriced. Your best option is to purchase a pure CBD extract powder. Therapeutic doses can range from anything up to 50 mg per day for light stress and social anxiety, and up to 200 mg per day or more for complicated conditions like epilepsy and post-traumatic stress disorder. You could check out my other videos on CBD and cannabis for more information. Flavonoids are a diverse group of plant compounds found in almost all fruits and vegetables. Chocolate, tea, wine, some beans, herbs, spices, nuts, and seeds contain them. Overall, the more colourful a food is, the richer it is in flavonoids. The following flavonoids inhibit fatty acid amide hydrolase. This is an enzyme that's responsible for breaking down the endocannabinoid anandamide. These are genistein, camphoterol, 7-hydroxyflavone, and 3,7-dihydroxyflavone. Try to eat as much fruit and vegetables as possible on a daily basis, so you're consuming plenty of flavonoids. It's best to consume fruit and vegetables in their raw form to receive the highest number of flavonoids. On a separate note, freshly picked fruit and vegetables is much higher in natural MSM. When the food is kept on the shelf, the MSM degrades. As a result, people are now deficient and should always try to supplement with 5 to 10 grams of MSM per day. Some believe next to protein, carbohydrate and fat, MSM is the fourth building block in the body. Tea contains catechins, and these are antioxidant compounds that have anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects. Researchers have found the catechins in the tea target and bind to the cannabinoid receptor in the central nervous system. EGCG, or epigallocatechin gallate, is most well-known catechin. Like quercetin, it can also enhance the uptake of zinc and therefore help the immune system to fight off viruses. Drinking tea can also lower cortisol, or stress hormone, and green tea increases brain-derived neurotropic factor. Kava is a plant that's located in the Western Pacific. The root of the plant is used medicinally to treat anxiety and sleep disorders because it causes relaxation without impacting on the cognitive performance. Some people say it feels like drinking alcohol. Researchers have evaluated the commercially available Kava supplements to see if they bind to the cannabinoid receptors. They found yangonin, a compound in the Kava, binds to the CB1 receptor, and they concluded Kava's anti-anxiety effect might be because it stimulates the endocannabinoid system. Osteopathy is a healing modality, and it emphasizes the treatment of diseases by manipulating and massaging the bones, joints, and muscles. One study found the endocannabinoid levels increase 168% on average after osteopathic treatment. Research suggests that some probiotics can stimulate and support the endocannabinoid system. In one study, researchers found Lactobacillus acidophilus, a specific probiotic species, increases the expression of the CB2 receptors. Probiotics have also been shown to stimulate the vagus nerve and to help with depression. Most people know that dark chocolate is rich in multiple antioxidants, such as flavonoids and polyphenols, and these reduce oxidative stress. Interestingly, it also contains the endocannabinoid anandamide. Dark chocolate also has other compounds that slow the breakdown of the anandamide, increasing the amount of anandamide, and this stimulates your endocannabinoid system. This is likely one reason why eating chocolate makes people feel so good. It's better to eat sugar-free cacao, as the milk can interfere with the absorption of some of chocolate's beneficial compounds, and heating can also destroy some of the benefits. The dark chocolate also increases brain-derived neurotropic factor and reduces the stress hormone cortisol. It's highly recommended you try to do something every day to manage your stress, because emotional stress has been shown to downregulate the CB1 receptors. High cortisol levels for prolonged periods of time, such as those caused by chronically stressful circumstances, also reduce the CB1 receptors and significantly reduce the cannabinoid binding to the CB1 receptor. On top of this, chronic psychological stress reduces the endocannabinoid levels within the brain. Overall, researchers say there's strong evidence that the endocannabinoid system needs to function optimally in order to deal with stress. Some ways to reduce stress include neurofeedback, meditation, massage, acupuncture, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, emotional freedom technique, heart rate variability training, acupressure mat, and treating deficiencies and enhancing nutrition. Some supplements that can help to reduce stress include zinc, magnesium, ashwagandha, and phosphatidylserine. You can try and do different detoxes. You can see my video on the pregnenolone steal and see how this bioidentical hormone can help with chronic fatigue, chronic stress, brain function, anti-aging, and more. Magnolia Officinalis is a plant that has neuroprotective properties and relaxing effects. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's used to treat anxiety, depression, and sleep disorders. Researchers have found the Magnolia Officinalis contains magnolol and honachiol, and these activate the cannabinoid receptors. You can take it as a supplement or you can drink magnolia tea. Exercise is a great way to stimulate and to support your endocannabinoid system. Medium and high intensity exercise has been shown to activate the endocannabinoid system. Research also shows exercise significantly upregulates the CB1 receptor, and it enhances the CB1 receptor sensitivity. This is why exercise can protect against the consequences of stress. Exercise-related improvements in memory are also due to activation of the CB1 receptor. Blocking this receptor seems to prevent the memory benefits of exercise. Several studies also show exercise increases the levels of anandamide and it activates the cannabinoid signaling. Researchers believe the endocannabinoids may actually be responsible for the runner's high, the euphoria that you get when you exercise, and not the endorphins. However, you shouldn't force yourself to exercise. Forced exercise is seen by the endocannabinoid system as a type of stress, and therefore it doesn't increase the endocannabinoid levels and can actually decrease the CB1 signaling. You should aim to find activities that you enjoy. A routine you could try is to lift weights 1 to 4 times per week in the evenings. High intensity interval sprinting 1 to 2 times per week in the middle of the day. And walk as much as you can, ideally 30 to 60 minutes every morning. Many brain health experts recommend exercise as their #1 piece of advice for optimal brain health. Not only does it help with neurotransmitter support, but it also helps to improve circulation, and the movement of the body improves the body's glymphatic and lymphatic detox systems. Palmitoylethanolamide, or PEA, is a naturally occurring compound, and it has anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects. Low levels of PEA can contribute to chronic brain inflammation and pain. Research shows that PEA can alleviate pain and increase mood by enhancing the endocannabinoid activity. PEA is naturally found within the body, but it's also available as a supplement. It's even used for medicinal purposes in Italy and Spain. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential fats that your body can't produce itself. They're necessary for the normal electrical functioning of the brain and the nervous system. Research shows they can increase the synthesis of the endocannabinoids, and they can upregulate both the CB1 and the CB2 receptors. There's also a connection between low omega-3 fatty acid intake and poor endocannabinoid function and mood changes. Omega-3 fatty acids are found primarily in cold water fish like salmon, black cod, sablefish, sardines, and herrings. Unfortunately, most people don't consume enough omega-3 in the diet, so they should supplement. Agmatine is a metabolite of the amino acid arginine. It can help to reduce pain and treat drug addiction, and it protects the brain from toxins. It's been shown to enhance the pain-killing effects of cannabinoids. It does this by increasing the cannabinoid action and the signaling through the CB1 receptor. Agmatine can make some people feel agitated, however. Caryophyllene is a compound found in many plants and essential oils, including clove, rosemary, basil, oregano, lavender, and hops. It also contributes to the spiciness of black pepper. It's been shown to have anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, antidepressant, anti-anxiety, and anti-alcoholism effects. These effects are likely because it binds to the cannabinoid receptors. It can also help to reduce neuropathic pain through the CB2 receptor. Echinacea is a Native American plant, and it's one of the most popular medicinal herbs. People often use it to reduce flu symptoms and to shorten the duration of the common cold. It's also sometimes used to reduce anxiety and relieve fatigue. Compounds in Echinacea, called the alkaloids, have been shown to reduce the inflammation by binding to the CB2 receptor. Researchers have also found they increase the effects of the endocannabinoids. Tuber melanosporum, or black truffle, is an edible mushroom native to southern Europe. The researchers have found it contains the endocannabinoid anandamide. Diindolymethane, or DIM, is an anti-carcinogenic compound found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and kale. It's one of the reasons these foods are considered to be so healthy. Studies show it reduces inflammation because it binds to the CB2 receptors. Ruta Graveolens, commonly known as rue, is a medicinal herb. Researchers have found a compound within it binds to the cannabinoid receptor. It can be taken as an extract. The electric daisy is a medicinal herb originating from the Amazonian region. It contains phytocannabinoids and other compounds that can reduce pain and inflammation. It's also available as an extract. Helichrysum is a plant with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It originates from South Africa. It's been used medicinally for thousands of years, especially in countries like Italy, Spain, and Portugal. Researchers have found it has antidepressant effects, likely because it contains cannabigerol, a phytocannabinoid that stimulates the endocannabinoid system. Radula marginata, commonly known as liverwort, is found in New Zealand. It contains cannabinoids and cannabinoid-like compounds that can bind to the CB1 receptor, activating the endocannabinoid system. Curcumin is the most heavily researched compound found within turmeric, the spice that gives curry its yellow colour. Research has found supplementing with curcumin for 4 weeks reduces depression by binding to the CB1 receptor and by increasing the endocannabinoid level within the brain. Since curcumin is fat soluble, it should be taken with a meal. As you can see, there's many ways to stimulate the endocannabinoid system besides smoking cannabis, and supporting this important system can lead to a number of brain and mental health benefits. To book a consultation or to learn about herbs, supplements and natural treatments, check out my website.